Hey, what's up? Lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the brand new 2021 Netflix original film, To All the Boys, Always and Forever. All of our cast is back. The love of my life, the future wife of mine, the mother to my children. This is all fictitious, but Sophia Black Dahlia, she plays this character for like collectively 3 minutes when they go to New York. I love Sophia so much. She played Sabrina Pemberton in The Mick, one of the funniest actresses, super overdramatic. I'm obsessed with her, and I screamed, verbally screamed when I saw Sophia on the screen, and I was like, Sophia! I miss seeing her on TV. But she deserved like so much more than the character she was given. Collectively 3-4 minutes of the students in New York. Like, come on, this is Sophia. Like Sophia Black Dahlia, she should be in everything. Okay, enough gushing. So I did not like this movie at all. I love the opening. We're in Seoul, South Korea. Like Laura Jean and her family are doing their thing, and then we get back to Portland, Oregon, and then like it just tanked. And then the senior class goes to New York, and like the New York stuff was fun, and like Sophia's in New York, and then there's this pan of Mean Girls on Broadway billboard in Times Square. Rest in peace, it just closed thanks to COVID-19. But like I'm gushing because like I'm an islander. I'm from Long Island, so like I know Manhattan, specifically Midtown and the theater district. So like certain things pissed me off when the kids were in New York because like there's made it abundantly clear there's 3 tour groups and one sending pictures of who where and this and that, and I'm like, okay, if one just went to like Grand Central Station and then they took pictures at the Statue of Liberty and then they took pictures at the library, and I'm like, that's not how this works. Geographically, that's not how this works. Quickly, that's not how this works. It just pissed me off. But when we're like halfway through this movie, I verbally said, oh my God, this is awful. And I wanted to figure out why. This movie is the longest out of the 3. The first 2 were awesome. Awesome films. They were fast, they were dramatic, they were lovey, they were cute. Like, you cheered for these characters, and like we were spoiled because we had Jordan Fisher as a predominant main character in the second film, along with Ross Butler. Ross Butler is predominant main character within the second film as well. Ross is in this for collectively maybe 12 minutes, maybe, and no Jordan Fisher at all. Also, the character of Josh is mentioned once, but you don't see him. So like, I don't know. I don't know the books, but I can only talk about the movie that's presented to us. The story sucked. So what happened? What happened? What happened? As soon as we get back to Portland, Oregon, right, after the Seoul trip, like Peter's gushing because he got into Stanford, and Laura Jean's waiting to hear back from Stanford, and she gets rejected by Stanford, but then she like accidentally texts Peter when she's trying to text Margot, and like she inadvertently tells him she got into Stanford, but she didn't get into Stanford, and then she's like, when should I tell him I didn't get to Stanford? Like, he's so happy. And that's one of the worst plots in any story, in film or television or any book. One of the worst possible drawn out plots is when the character could have done the thing that she needed to do, or he needed to, or they needed to do, pronouns aside, we'll just say they. The character needed to do what they needed to do to move the story forward instead of forcibly being dramatic. No, all Laura Jean had to do was tell Peter she didn't get into Stanford, but it had to drag out. And then they get on the bus to get to the airport, to get to Manhattan, to get on a bus again, and she still doesn't tell him. She didn't get into Stanford until they're in a random bakery eating a cookie. Or was it a cupcake? Who cares at this point? And I'm like, why was 20 minutes of my life wasted watching this drama when she could have told him in a text, oh, my bad, that was to my sister. That's forcibly telling a dramatic story. That's stupid. You're drawing out a story that didn't have to be drawn out. This was close to 2 hours long. This could have been an hour and a half. did not need certain plot points, I'm getting worked up. And I'm trying to figure out while I'm watching this why I don't like this movie. When it sucks because I love these actors. I love the characters we've been given in the first two films from 2018. This is 3 years now, growing with these characters. The screenwriter's different. I knew it. I knew this wasn't the same screenwriter who did the same screenplay at the first two films. I knew it. Once they threw that plot point of Lord Jean this and not telling Peter and dragging it out, and the weird back and forth in Manhattan and then going back to Oregon and all of these things, right? The way that it was told, whether it was in the book or not, I don't know. But how it was told was inappropriate. It's not how you tell a story. It's not how you keep your audience captivated. And this is getting a bad review within Rotten. I don't actually know Rotten Tomatoes, but IMDb, this is a very low number. The screenwriter of the first two films is the same. And then this person, I don't even know who it is. I looked it up just to make sure that it wasn't the same person. It's not the same person who wrote this book, who wrote this movie. So what happened? Why did we not get the screenwriter for the first two films on this third film? Why? This film, these characters, the story of the Peter and LJ romance, right? Culminating to that ending. Like, it was a good ending, but like, how it got there deserved better. I'm not bashing the movie as a whole because 3 years now investing in these characters and this plot point of actors, it feels like it's a disservice to say this was complete garbage because it wasn't complete garbage. It was, I had to pause it a bunch of times and get up and walk around because I just couldn't forcibly watch it for 2 hours, but the actors deserve better. And we just talked about this within the last review we did of Finding Ohana, right? Great actors, bad storytelling. I'm gonna hit rewind and play again. Great actors, bad storytelling. That's the best I can say. And I feel terrible saying it because this cast and crew did a great job with the first two films. This should have been the pinnacle, highest point at the end of this trilogy, right? So I'm worried for Kissing Booth 3 because they've always been comparative to each other. To All the Boys and Kissing Booth have always been comparative to each other. But I looked it up, and I believe that the screenwriter for Kissing Booth is also doing the same screenwriter for the third film. So I have hope, but I'm nervous because, again, we're in this Netflix bubble of, people who are working on the same projects, but I'm a little nervous for Kissing Booth 3 when it comes out. But at the same time, I have hope, but my hope was shattered with To All the Boys, Always and Forever, because it wasn't the same screenwriter, and it was not an appropriate way of telling a story. I can't compare it to the books. I never read the books. I'm just basing this off the story that was presented to us. That's not how you tell a story. If you're trying to keep the audience captivated to move the story on, great. But there were so many points in this film that didn't have to be there, which is just so unfortunate. It's a disservice to the talent that was involved in this film. And, Noah Centineo, he is the face of Netflix. He's the poster boy for Netflix. We love our Noah. We can't wait to see him do 8 billion more Netflix projects. But the cast deserved better. If I'm wrong, someone please explain to me why I'm wrong. But from a story point of view, this was so slow and so boring. It just hurt. It physically hurt watching this. For me to audibly go, or why? Like, I do this all the time. I watch things, I read things. I know story and character development, right? This is what, my 800th review? I don't even know. I haven't even counted. Like, this hurts my soul. And it sucks that it's the last one. So I'm nervous for Kissing Booth 3. Let's hope it's great. But I apologize to this cast because they deserve the world. They deserve the best cookie in the world if we're going to do some plot points of this film. They deserve the best cookie in the world. And they got a generic brand who claims to be better than Oreo. No. No cookie is better than Oreo. You mark my words. No cookie is better than Oreo. How dare you pretend to be better than Oreo? No. Okay, we're done ranting. Sophia, thank you for being in this. You deserve so much more than what you were given. But I hope for a Mick revival. Tom Babuska, I hope he plays Chip. I hope the both of you do a grand revival. I think it would be absolutely hysterical. Caitlin Olsen being your Aunt Mickey, of course. I need more Mick. I need more Mick. Let's bring this back. Let's bring this back. 2 seasons is not enough. We need more Mick. That's enough of me plugging for the Mick right now. Okay, we're good. Mahalo.